Hi, so I'm April Forts, and I am the State Supervisor of Mathematics at the Iowa Department of Education. And I'm making this recording for the University of Iowa for the pre-service teachers for mathematics to talk to them about some of the resources on the Iowa Core page. And also, if they want to join the coaching network or be on my distribution list, then they can contact me at april.forts@iowa.gov. Down here is my email address, and I'm happy to put them on my distribution list where they will receive a top 5 weekly, and they'll learn about information that's going on across the nation and just things that are trending at the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the iowacore.gov page, and if you enter that in the search bar, hit return, and then you can go down to the Iowa Core Standards page, where in here you can select by subject, and you can go into mathematics, and then say I'm going to pick grade 8, and so I can select expressions and equations and work with radical integers and exponents, and then I can see the standards. But what I want to point out is the supporting information for the targets. And what this information does is it really helps us to understand what those standards look like and how we can shape our instruction to support the standards around the DOKs, the depth of knowledge, vertical alignments, achievement level descriptors, the evidence required to determine whether or not a student is proficient, the vocabulary, response types, lots of additional information. So again, I'm going to go back to the Iowa Core pages, and under resources, I'm going to go under mathematics. So how I got to this page here was when I typed in iowacore.gov. You can just go to there, and then you're going to select educator resources here. And then you're going to scroll down until you see mathematics. And then you'll scroll down and you'll find things for instruction, assessment, and professional development. So the first thing that I want to share with you is the information that was done at the national level around the standards. And we locate that under the summative page. For the reason is that we were having that conversation with our move to Smarter Balance before we received the legislative pause. So we have the pause going on now. But what I want to point out to you on this page is the content specifications. And it says for Smarter Balance, they are for Smarter Balance, but they're not solely for Smarter Balance. This work was done by this national team, and it was developed with input from content experts and the Smarter Balance Assessment Consortium staff, work group members, and technical advisory committee. And so under acknowledgements, you can see the team that did this work. And if you go down to here, Phil Darrow was one of the chairs of the Common Core State Standards Math Writing Group, in addition to William McCallum and Jason Zimba. And William McCallum does Illustrative Mathematics, which is a website that you can go and it unwraps the standards for you. And also Jason Zimba through Student Achievement Partners and Achieve the Core. So we know that things are aligned, that we use from Illustrative Math and Achieve the Core. Additionally, if you know who the math gurus are, you'll recognize several of them here. And then they vetted it with more than 20 individuals and organizations before they did this work. So this work was done at a national level. And what that means is we have really great information here on the Iowa Core website where we don't all have to invent the same wheel. So I'm going to highlight some information. So say I was a grade 6 teacher, then I could go into grade 6 here and I could see lots of information around the content standards and the problem solving, communicating, reasoning, and model and data analysis, which have our standards for mathematical practices embedded into them. And then I could further individually select content standards, and I could go in and see all of this great information and examples of these types of questions Okay, so I could do that for all of the different grade levels. And then also I could go into the targets into these pages, and I could see on these blue and white sheets what standards I need to make a priority or not a priority, what standards of mathematical practices I should use in the different claims, where I should focus student learning. So great instructional implications here. Additionally, I can also go down and use the standard-based grading rubric. And in the standards-based grading rubric, I can go down and see what the achievement level descriptors look like for the targets or at the cluster level. Now, generally, when we talk about assessment, we talk about it from the target or the cluster level. So 3 would be a proficient and 4 would be exceeding that. And I can go down and I can scroll through grade 3, and then I'll get to grade 4. And after grade 4, I would get to grade 5. And then after grade 5, I'm going to get to the standards of mathematical practices for the grade band 3 through 5. So then I can look at problem solving and modeling and data analysis and communicating reasoning. And then later on in the document, it goes 6, 7, and 8, and then 6 through 8, and then high school. So these can be great tools that I can use to design my instruction. Another thing that we have is under the instructional practices is our principles to action. And you can go into the effective mathematics teaching practices, and you can see what the 8 effective math practices are. And so here you see these are the things that the teachers are focusing on. So we want the students to focus on the content and the standards for mathematical practices, right? Doing those things, knowing those things. But this is how the teachers bring it through to fruition, right? We want to establish mathematical goals to focus learning. We want to implement tasks to promote reasoning and problem solving, use and connect mathematical representations, facilitate meaningful mathematical discourse, pose purposeful questions, build procedural fluency from conceptual understanding, support productive struggle and learning mathematics, elicit and use evidence of student thinking. So these are the things that we want to create in the classroom. So you'll see that there's several resources on the Iowa Core Mathematics page, and I would encourage you to go onto here and explore further, and know that you can email me any questions. And thank you very much and have a great day.